Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. We're back for one more video for you guys on the NFL Draft Weekend. It's our undrafted free agency breakdown. We will get to all the players the Cowboys have reportedly signed. Might be a couple more that come in. There was one last year. It was John Stevens, who was reported way after in the process and probably to the team, if not for an injury there. We will have more Cowboys coverage for you all off-season long, even as things get a little bit, maybe not boring, but less dramatic. Hit that sub button for more free Dallas Cowboys YouTube videos. So first, we'll go one time through the 12 reported and more confirmed than anything undrafted free agent signings. Nate Peat, there was a running back signed out of Missouri. We will break him down. Cory Crooms, the teammates of a couple players actually on this Cowboys staff, right, or this Cowboys roster now since he transferred from Western Michigan as well. Wide receiver there. Wide receiver Cam Johnson out of Northwestern. Brevyn Spann-Ford might be the most notable name on this list. That is the Minnesota tight end. He's a big boy. Also tight end Alec Holler out of UCF, so there will be some competition there for one of those last roster spots. Not as many DTs as I thought this team might look to add. There are open spots still. There's about 5-ish, 6-ish roster spots this team can still fill, by the way. Denzel Daxon out of Illinois. Byron Vons out of Baylor, a defensive end. Jason Johnson out of UCF. I think that is one of the more interesting names to monitor here. He was second team All Big 12. Chance he can make that roster. Brock Mogensen, which that just sounds like a South Dakota linebacker name. And he kind of looks like one too. Amari Johnson, safety out of Nevada. Julius Wood, the safety out of East Carolina. And I've seen safety and corner mentioned for Josh DeBerry, so we'll call him a defensive back. We'll go more in depth on who the hell are these guys in just a little bit. But in general, the Cowboys do a pretty good job in undrafted free agency. They have a very good scouting staff. It's why when they let the scouts do their job, draft tends to go pretty well. They have they've thrown some guaranteed money around in the past. Early reporting, the ones that we've seen, and there are a couple players that don't have their numbers out yet, but the noteworthy reporting hasn't been as much this time around. So for all the hype of they're going to spend money in undrafted free agency, at least so far, what we know hasn't been the case. I'm also not that upset about it because I didn't like this Day 3 class in general, which means I don't like the UDFA class as much. But I do trust the Cowboys to identify a gem or two in this process. So grade that Cowboys undrafted free agency class. Would have been nice to get Blake Watson, but so be it. A, B, C, D, or F. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comments, actually the pinned comment of today's video. Now, teaser alert, I barely got to 300 players this year, so a lot of these guys I didn't do actual grades on, but I like watching college football, so there's plenty of stuff to talk about there. Nate Peat is first up here out of Missouri. What is most noteworthy to me is that I've seen conflicting information on just how fast he ran. Michael Gelkin has him at sub 4.4. I'm looking at the Beast from Dane Brugler. He's got him at a 4.51. That's a massive difference for a player, by the way, who did not actually play all that much at Missouri. He was a backup, limited production. Assuming the testing is accurate, that's the Gelkin one I'm intrigued by. The 4.5, not nearly as much. So we'll see what happens in camp in the preseason. Cory Crooms is both a teammate of Brevyn Spann-Ford, who we'll get to, and was a teammate of Marshawn Nealon. He transferred from Western Michigan after an 800-yard season in 2022, good production, and then only had 376 yards for Minnesota. 5'10", and almost 5'11", 186. I'm looking at the Beast again here for the Times. 4.62 40-yard dash. So not the best from what you would be hoping for from that perspective. Cam Johnson is next up here. This is another wide receiver option for the Dallas Cowboys. 6 foot, 202 pounds, 4.59 40-yard dash. So again, not necessarily the most impactful speed production there, but did actually put up very good numbers in college. For a Northwestern offense that was terrible, he had 700 yards and 6 touchdowns. He was the one guy that team tended to trust a little bit more. Is an older prospect. This is why I didn't get to him. Spent 6 years at the collegiate ranks. Time now for, I think, one of the more notable additions from the Cowboys in the undrafted free agency process. It's Brevyn Spann-Ford, who he was on my list. He was 256 overall for me. He was, as I double check and make sure I don't spread false information here, he was one of my best available players and best available tight ends, 7th round grade for me. He's a big boy, 6'6.5", 260 pounds. He has a lot of inline stuff. He has the size and the upside to be a good blocker. The agility testing wasn't very good. He's a little bit just of a big, sometimes too big guy there. Doesn't offer a ton of stuff after the catch. He does move pretty well for his size, though. He's an above-average athlete overall, was well-liked in that Minnesota program, has flashed the blocking ability. Unfortunately, his play kind of fell off this year. He had 42 catches for almost 500 yards and 2 scores last year. Those numbers dropped to 25 and 239 this season, and he kind of forgot how to catch. He had 9 drops on 25 targets this season. He was viewed as a draftable prospect entering this year's class and just kind of forgot how to drop there. So you should be able to get to course correct because he went from, even with his 9 drops, he had 5 entering this season, had 9 this year. So I think that was an outlier, but get that fixed and he can compete for a roster spot this season. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. We'll tell you that always should do the flex play when it comes to Prize Picks. That way, in case you get something wrong, you can get one wrong and not be totally out of it from that perspective. I believe in the flex play. It's saved my bacon so many times this year in the regular season of doing Prize Picks. I get 2 out of 3 right, 3 out of 4 right, and then come up a little bit short in the end. But the flex play got me right. If I had done the power play, I would have gotten all of 3 right all year. The flex play, I got 3 wrong all year. Here's my season-long Prize Picks for the NFL. More than Patrick Mahomes passing yards, more than Dak Prescott passing yards, more than CeeDee Lamb receiving yards, and more than, or touchdowns for CeeDee Lamb touchdowns, and more than Micah Parsons sacks. The injury risks kind of already factored in to that board. So I like the more thans across it. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Alec Holler was kind of a weird profile out of Central Florida. He had 2 touchdowns this past season, only 244 yards, hasn't been the most productive player over the course of his collegiate career. He's not the biggest either. 6'2" and change, 247. He was listed at 230, though, by Central Florida. He was the great Dane Brugler's 30th ranked tight end, so a little bit lower on that side. Denzel Daxon, 6'2" and 304 out of the Bahamas, by the way, which is always fun to acquire some international players. Didn't move to the U.S. until 2016. Actually began his collegiate career at Ohio State. So he was a transfer from OSU to Illinois. Not a lot of production here. Best year was this year, 27 tackles. He had 0 sacks in his career. Now, he's listed at 6'2", 304. He ran a 5'5", 40-yard dash. I think this is kind of going to be more of a, plays in the 3 technique spot, but you're kind of hoping ends up being a run clogger there. But there's a reason why. A lot of these guys I didn't get to, it's because they didn't test the greatest, and that's a red flag for me. Byron Vons is next up here out of Baylor. He's from Fort Worth, by the way. He has bounced all over the collegiate ranks. He spent time at Texas. He spent time at Utah State. He spent time at Baylor. He has been a journeyman. Not the biggest guy, 6'3", listed, the Beats got him at 6'3", 3H, 225. Slender. I almost wonder if you've got linebacker, defensive end, hybrid stuff here. Big reason why he got drafted. UDFA, I should say, 35-inch arms. So there's some interesting, there's good bursts there too. Interesting traits, I think, is a big factor in why he ended up getting picked up by Dallas. A player that I am very curious to see if he can make the roster is Jason Johnson, who, again, this is more of an undersized linebacker. He's 6'1.5", basically. 228 pounds. He has had success, though, in his time in the collegiate ranks, most recently with Central Florida. 115 tackles, 129 tackles. It's really good ball production there. It was at Eastern Illinois before that, so if you go to like some of the stat sites, you might not see him actually listed on there because it's Eastern Illinois, which the last time the Cowboys got an Eastern Illinois UDFA, that player turned out pretty good, or at least the one that we all remember there. Did not have the best athletic testing. The 4.65 40 and the 29-inch vert were kind of disappointing at the size profile, but the production was very good. Who was your favorite UDFA signing by the Dallas Cowboys? Any name you want to go with, drop it for me in the comment section right now. Another linebacker here, Brock Mogensen, out of South Dakota, so a small school kid here. 6'2", 234, 4.78 wasn't the greatest. Better vertical jump there, though, for the South Dakota product. He also had 100-plus tackles in back-to-back years to end his season. Let's go to Amari Johnson, one of a couple of different safeties this team has gone out and chose to add. A lot of the guys I'm mentioning didn't make Danes like right up in his beast. Amari Johnson did. 100 tackles this past year in his first year as a starter in year 6. He turns 24 in November. 6 pass breakups, 3 interceptions in that time frame. 4.5 40 is a really good time at 218 pounds. Had the massive breakouts. He's a late bloomer. But I see some free safety upside there in Amari Johnson with the ball skills and the overall athletic profile. I would not be sleeping on him too much. Julius Wood also actually made the Dane Brugler write-up, unlike most of the other guys beyond Brevyn Spann-Ford of this list. Began his career at Blinn Community College. Actually, I should say, originally signed with my alma mater, Miami of Ohio. Did not have the grades, which they even let me in, so... Then goes to, that's a very mean comment to make, but it's fine. Goes to Blinn Community College, gets the grades back up there, goes to East Carolina, 87-plus tackles each of the past 2 seasons, 2 interceptions each of the past 2 seasons. The big issue, and this is going to be more of, despite the size, I don't think I can play him deep. 4.73, 40-yard dash is a real, didn't like that too much there. Now, how many undrafted free agents do you think will make the Dallas Cowboys roster this year? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? How many is it? Sound off in the comment section right now. Josh Berry rounds things out here. Was at Boston College, then transferred to Texas A&M. Had a great first game. He had like a pick and a TFL and then kind of cooled off a little bit. I think has some corner safety flex. Database has him at corner. I've seen some announcements as a safety, though, for the signing, so kind of asterisk that one a little bit there. One very brief note before we go. I have seen some stuff on Solo Turner out of Illinois being signed by Dallas. It was not reported by my guy Nick Harris over at Cowboys.com, and the dude who reported it had 14 Twitter followers. So I think some people might have gotten God on that one, but asterisk it since there are spots still available.